It's another Sunday, it's another brawl, what are we doing?
Nonsense Rumble!
That's right, we're doing another Rumble. It's one of our favourite activities, we promise you. Rick, let's jump straight in. What's the category for today?
It's a robot. We're not doing cyborgs, we're not doing androids, we're not doing pilotable things, just a non-giant robot that can hopefully fight.
Yeah, it was really amusing. Go back and... Oh, wait, you can't because we lost the episode. But when we originally discussed the concept, I said non-giant robot, and then Rick just fired off a list of a bunch of other qualifying factors just to make sure we knew what the criteria was.
Yeah, no human faces.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Rick, do you have an honourable mention today?
My honourable mention is one I really wanted to pick, but I know you'd get rinsed by pretty much any real pick. It's Sir Kill-A-Lot.
Oh, shit, from Robot Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, that was my favourite robot in Robot Wars. Not because it was the
everyone's
best.
favourite.
Yeah, because it just looked fucking cool. It had a lance.
Yeah.
It didn't do fuck all, it just looked good.
Yeah, and he had like a crush claw that if you got too close to Sir Kill-A-Lot and stayed there for long enough, the crush claw would get you.
Dude, do you remember when they tried to make another Sir Kill-A-Lot because it had the same sort of frame, but it had a stupid square face and it had a mallet instead, and it was just shit.
Like Mr. Mallet.
I think he was called Crusher or something, but it wasn't good.
Yeah. Like it's a Crusher with a K or something.
Yeah. The actual most deadliest robot was, I think, Matilda.
Yeah, Matilda was the actual deadly one because she had like a chainsaw for an arse.
Yeah,
and then there was like Sergeant Bash with the flamethrower,
which, by the way, is illegal. Like, you're not allowed to have flamethrowers in Robot Wars, but the house robots allowed one.
Yeah. The one difference between the American and British version is the American version is allowed to use tape. Because tape is classed as a liquid weapon, which flames are a liquid weapon, and liquid weapons are banned. But tape is classed as a liquid weapon in Britain, but as a solid weapon in America, and therefore is okay.
What would that exactly do in terms of Robot Wars?
You just Empire Strikes Back things.
Oh, I see. But it doesn't really work when the robots use wheels, usually.
Typically, yes.
But yeah, Death Metal was also weirdly deadly.
Yeah.
Man, we should fucking do some Robot Wars for this fucking channel. God, we just wasted 3 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, Sir Kill-A-Lot would have been my pick if the fact that, like, literally any other pick would just, like, tip him over. How about you? Do you have an honourable mention?
My honourable mention is Tetsujin from Tekken. It's Mokujin, but metal.
Yeah, Iron Jin, yeah.
Yeah. The reason it's my honourable mention is it looks like a robot. It acts like a robot. I don't think it technically is a robot.
Is it just a man?
Well, it's just... It's a training doll that came to life because of mystic bullshit reasons, which makes me be like, I don't think in the spirit of the competition you can call that a robot because it's magic.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I think it would be a pretty strong pick because it just has every Tekken character's ever moveset. So, yeah, pretty strong. It doesn't have any weapons, which is the downside, I guess, but it can pick up a pipe and act like Yoshimitsu, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the actual competition after 3 minutes of Robot Wars talk. Let's have our version of Robot Wars. Who's your pick, Rick?
Man, I thought of an even better one, but I don't know the actual thing, so I'm just going to go with what I wrote down. I'm going with Cubix.
Oh, man, that thing sucked.
Yeah.
But
its powers are beyond compare, and evil forces had better beware.
Okay, but here's the thing, Rick, because I thought my pick was shit, and then you brought out Cubix, and I'm suddenly hopeful I'm winning today.
Alrighty, let's find out. What did you pick today?
I picked Rokusho from Medabots.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. When I was thinking, man, I thought of something even cooler. Literally, it was Rokusho. Okay. So yeah. I think Rokusho just rinses Cubix.
Okay, so
he pulls it apart.
Before we start discussing why he would win, just do the announcement for me so we can have an info for people.
So first of all, Rokusho wins.
Yeah. So go on.
But yeah, Rokusho is like the Mega Man Zero of Medabots. He's the cooler one.
He's the cooler one because he just works on his own. He doesn't have he's searching for his former Medabot master or whatever the fuck they called them in that show. But like
Meda Fighter or Medarotta in the original Japanese apparently.
Like because he's just a Ronin. He's got a cape. He's got a cape, Rick.
Yeah, he's a robot with a cape.
And like, it's just it's that Japanese trope of we're doing a collectathon type show / manga / whatever. What were people going to collect? Robots? Robots that look like Beetles. Yeah!
Yeah. But even better, well, the robot that looks like a beetle, you only have to buy one of those. What you actually collect are the medals.
Yeah, oh god, such a fucking racket was Japan with Medabots, man. Because, I remember, I loved Medabots as a kid, which is why Rokusho is strong in my mind. He's one of my patches on my nerd cut.
Yeah.
I've got Hairman Medaby, because I'm a fucking geek. And... he's got a sword that comes out of his wrist. That's cool. He's a samurai. He fights for honor and justice and Medabots that are being mistreated. And his sole duty is to protect rare Medabots like him.
Yeah. And you can't have a match without me, Mr. Referee!
Oh, goddamn, yeah, that was a good gag. But the toys, man, they used to sell of Medabots because they did the same thing they did in the show in that you can just mix and match parts from whatever toy you got. So you wanted to buy as many of the toys as you could to make the most bullshit, busted robot possible.
Yeah. Couldn't you also open them up and put the medal inside?
No, they weren't that big.
Okay.
There might have been a version of the toy that did have that along with it, but that weren't the shit I was allowed to get because poor. But
Sure.
Yeah. Rokusho kicks the shit out of Cubix because Cubix isn't that good. He's just strong in universe.
Yeah. Because like in universe, the main villain is Meowth, who just has other robots that he builds.
Yeah, like the only reason Cubix is special is because he was busted for so long, and the main character Kun managed to fucking fix him, and that's why he's special and strong and the best.
Yeah, and he could transform into multiple different Lego forms of himself, including, Mount.
Yeah, because they wanted to sell fucking toys. It's all a racket, man.
Yeah. Man, it's freaking Miraidon. But worse.
Well, I remember the Cubix video game for the PS1. I remember being really excited for it because I thought it was going to be a fighting game. No, fucking racing game.
Oh boy. Well, that's even worse.
Yeah, like, what the
speaking
fuck
of
is
video
this shit?
games, Speaking of video games, you could get the Metabee or the Rokusho version of the Medabots game.
That was on the Game Boy Advance, wasn't it?
It was a Game Boy Advance or DS. It was that kind of time anyway.
Yeah, like, by the way, when I was looking up Rokusho's name just to make sure that I spelt it correctly on my list, about 1,900 games, only about 2 of which came to the West.
Yep.
And I was just
1900.
I'm exaggerating for effect, but, I was so annoyed to learn this fact, because if a Medabots game came out on a home console, not a portable, in the fucking early 2000s, I would have been on that shit like a fly on, well, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's reiterate for the 5th time. Rokusho wins!
Rokusho wins!
Yeah, what a fun fucking walk down memory lane. A surprising walk down memory lane that the robot discussion was. Join us next week where we're totally not talking about robots. Unless we do.
Well, yes, we'll find out. Bye, everybody.